Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Real Podcast. I know it's been quite some time since we had an episode. We've been waiting to have episodes like these ones. We're at the Fame Week at the moment. You'll hear a little bit of a noise. We are at the Fame Week. They gave us the privilege to be here, organized all of this for us. So we're grateful to be here. So we'll be recording live. So if you hear some noise on the background, you know that we are in the live place. So without wasting any time, guys, I've got Mamu Thoko. So we will be talking about some few issues that has to do with our industry today. And I really can't wait to jump on it. Mamu Thoko is an actor, but she's an actress, but I'm going to let her to introduce herself. So Mama Thoko, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, kunjani mama?
Ndiphilile mntana makhonto. Hopefully nani ke babukeli bamameli niphilile niyimiqabaqaba.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were talking off air, talking about some few things, what have you been up to, because I'm sure like people do miss you on their screens, I believe that now you're more on theater when we're talking. So what have you been up to since, what was your last show that you did for TV?
It was The River.
Oh, The River. Yes,
The River has just folded. Yeah,
we're gonna get into that.
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, that finished off.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. Okay, cool. So, what have you been up to since?
I am more on theatre in education.
Sure.
TIE. I go to the rural, I work with the rural child. I've introduced theatre in the area.
If you can just put mic here, question is one.
Sondes.
Yeah.
Closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, ekhaya, Ikirkut is my home.
Sure.
And my grandfather was Shia
Yeah.
Was Shia Nendru. That we have turned into a library.
Sure.
Or a meeting space or a reading space or a teaching space. So that's what I'm doing to try and help the rural child.
Wow.
The challenges that are here in the urban of people like I come from Langa. Abantwana bakwa Langa.
Yes.
They are bussed out of Langa to go to schools outside of Langa when Langa does have schools. So the same thing happens in Kirkwood, where I come from Beersheba, and the kids are not sent to the Beersheba school.
Yes.
They go to Enon to learn in Afrikaans, and they don't know Afrikaans, so that confuses the child.
Yes.
And then they have to go to another area. So parents are komali, but parents still pay for transportation to take their kids outside of the area. So our intervention there is to have the kids after school to come to the center. We've called it the Ntshinga Center. The kids come there to have post-matric students to help them with homework, to help them with reading,
Sure.
to help them with exercising, to help them to understand themselves.
Sure.
So that's what I'm busy with. But I do appear on television every now and then. You kind of sit there and thinking, okay, I've got this role, but when is this role going to be huge?
Sure. Yes.
But you are grateful that you are doing something.
Sure.
And I'm one of those people saying, if I'm doing this role, I must pay it enough not to feel that it's a small role. Because for me, no role is small.
Yes.
It is a role.
Yes.
But if I'm paid enough, I will do it. But
Sure.
if not, bye-bye. I talk to young people and I say to them, I'd rather sell amagwinya at the corner of the street in Langa than be exploited.
Exactly.
So it's that kind of...
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. I always say that it's really, really sad, seeing like your generation, not getting the respect they deserve. Your generation in terms of actors, because you guys have been like, you are like the ancestors of television,
of the industry.
So it's really painful when I see your generation not being respected in a way that not getting paid what they deserve, at the same time not even being respected to the point that they are not given proper roles or bigger roles. You know what I mean? Because at this point of time, you would expect someone like you as Mam Thoko. When we see her on television, it's a huge role. It's not just a something that was just added on a script so that the
Yes, yes.
so that the storyline can make sense. You know, you guys deserve to be, to have your own characters and stuff. So like something like that, like how do you ever felt like do you ever thought of something like that? Or
I'll give you an example of how it unfolds. Years back, I did Uvelapi, a comedy series
Yes.
with Rain Tlokwana, Sam Williams, Sis Mabel Mafuya. And when we were doing that production, first of all, we were not paid enough, but it was early days of television. So we were not paid enough, but we were there. We were a feisty group. We fought for what was rightfully ours.
on that project.
On that project, years ago, on that project, I remember Sam Williams was very strong in terms of exploiter, in terms of we needed to be treated right. One time, the production, we used to come in the morning. Your contract says if you come between a certain time and a certain time, you must be given breakfast. You must be fed on
Yes.
set. But then the production would decide to bring loaves of brown bread and paloni and rama or something like that for breakfast, and then there's coffee and tea and stuff like that. And Abo Butsem would say, "Excuse me, do you know what's mixed in this paloni? This is dog food. I'm not going to eat dog food, So we were a group of oldies who managed to say no, and we would just sit and not do anything and wait for them to buy proper food.
Oh my goodness.
So where did we lose it? If we could do it then, how have we lost it? We have challenges now of being blacklisted. If you fight for your rights, you are being blacklisted.
I'm one of them.
If you say no, then you are blacklisted.
I'm one of them.
That's why I'm saying I'd rather sell fat cakes at the street corner. If I'm not paid properly, go.
That's true.
Why is it that if Ntshinga must be called to do a production, the first line they give you is, there is no budget? Why are you calling me if you don't have a budget?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this movie or this TV series if you do not have a budget? Why
That's
are
true.
you calling me? I do a production with a company, and then their next production, they want to audition me.
Oh my goodness.
They want to audition me. I've just worked with these people. They've got my footage. They've got pictures. They've got everything. But I must come. It's a norm. It feels like in the industry, producers feel it's a norm. Audition people. I understand about pairing people. Call me for an interview to pair me with someone.
Yeah.
You can't audition me. And when you're saying...
Call you with everyone, like an open audition.
Exactly.
An open audition for you.
After
Like,
you
that's
have done
that's
so
disrespect.
much in the industry. No, that word, respect and disrespect, is a word that is loosely used in this industry. They don't think they are disrespecting people. They think it's their right to exploit people.
Yeah.
They think they have a right to exploit you.
Yeah.
You would look at people going up and down, talking about budgets and stuff like that, and you as an actor, you listening to what is being said, the kind of monies
Yeah.
producers get from the product that they give out at the end of the day doesn't count the actor. We're not on the list of the paid people. I think in South Africa, the tea lady gets better paid than I get paid on that set.
That's sad.
I always say as well that if you pay me per call and you call me for 2 calls per week, 1 call per week, and then in 3 months, I have worked with you for something like 5 or 7 calls, divide that money by 12 to see how much I have earned in a year. Divide it by 12. How much have I earned in 1 year? And then the SARS will take their 25% regardless of how much you've earned.
Yeah.
They want their 25%. Then you'll have to wait for a whole year to try and get back what SARS feels they can give back to you.
Yeah.
So it's a very sad state of affairs what artists go through in this country. You know, people, I don't think people care. People want to take and take and take from you until you can't move. You know, I'm here. I'm at the animation festival.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared because it means as an actor, where am I? Is animation taking over? Is animation taking over? I'm not paid as an actor. And the people who do animation, how does their kind of fee or salary play out? We don't know. But that means if we have so much animation, I'm not saying people can't do animation.
Yes.
They have to do animation.
Yes.
I am scared for me
Yes.
as an actor
Yes.
that next time they do that production, it will be done through animation. So it means actors don't have any work. It's a scary thing. I can never say it can't be done, but it's very scary. I must say, I'm very scared.
Now it's really, really sad, ma. Like I always say that, you know, regardless of what you say about Hollywood or whatever, the people that are in your position in Hollywood are much more respected.
Yeah.
For instance, like you in South Africa, you are more like Denzel Washington in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at him.
I know exactly what you mean.
The entire in Hollywood, Denzel Washington, the entire production can be made only for him.
Yes.
The entire production, and he can get paid more than anyone else on set.
And in South Africa, in South Africa must patch up.
You are on the same page. You are on the same level as Denzel Washington in South African film industry, actually African, television and film industry.
Yeah.
You are the one who gets paid less than anyone.
That's
and
the thing.
You have to go and audition.
You have to go and, that kills you as an artist. That really lowers your esteem because you want to work. You know, I'm at some point, I just feel as artists, we need to get together and say no. I'll give you another example. While we were doing Uvelapi with Penguin Films, they got the second season of Velapi. I was in Cape Town. Brian was in Cape Town. Sam Williams was in Joburg. There were no cell phones then, but we managed to speak to each other. We managed to speak before the contracts were out to say, guys, we will not change in a toilet, public toilet. Guys, we will not eat brown bread and polony for breakfast. Guys, if we have to go on location, we need to be looked after on location.
That's bad.
Then we did. We said no. When we signed the contract, we took out all the conditions that were not favoring us. And that was the end of Velapi.
Well, that's why it ended.
That was the end of Velapi because we wanted money, we wanted to be paid a good fee. And yes,
we wanted to be treated better.
We wanted to be treated better. And production wouldn't hear of it.
Would you rather close down a production than treating someone like a human being?
With respect. So that was the end of it. And I'm proud to say we managed to talk to each other as the key artists to say, if we as the key people are saying no, then we're saving everyone else who's going to be in this production.
Yeah.
Then we are the voice of the voiceless in this production.
It's really bad, man.
It is.
What do you think should be done? Or do you think, I know that SAGA, South African Guilds of Actors, I know they're trying their best.
Yeah.
I know you're also on the executive committee of SAGA.
I've always been one person who've wanted to be protected. Before SAGA, there was Power.
Who?
Power. Performing whatever. So I was part of that. I registered, I was paying. So when Power dismantled or dissolved Saga in 2009 when it was formed,
Yeah.
I was amongst the first people to join because I feel as an artist in South Africa, you really, really need someone to speak on your behalf.
Yeah.
You need someone to speak on your behalf. So Saga has done, the people who've been leading Usaga have been taking out of their own time, out of their own money. They've been pushing for actors' rights. For many years, they've been pushing for actors' rights.
Yeah.
So I think what needs to happen is for artists to join Saga. We need a bigger voice. We need to speak in one voice. We need to be saying no. And if we've got people who are there who can stand in front of those producers to say the actors are saying no, it makes life easier.
Yeah.
I think we need to join Saga.
So so the thing when I'm talking is that it's the same thing with us as crew members. It's the same thing with us as crew members. We are fighting the same battle. You are fighting. That's why we partnered with Usaga, the IDA, Independent Directors Association. We partnered with Usaga because our values are the same and our sentiments are the same. We're sharing the same values, same objectives, and everything. But on the crew side, Nina, so now working together, we believe that the thing is that when Mama talk, as I was saying, that people are scared to talk because they're afraid that if they talk,
I know.
They as you were saying that they will be blacklisted.
Yep, we're blacklisted.
They won't get to work. They won't get to work.
Yeah.
So what do you think needs to be done?
No, I think we need to join organizations like Saga. We need to, let's say you're not a Saga member. Let's say you find yourselves as a group doing a production. What's stopping you from talking to each other about issues that arise? The production houses always say, don't tell the others. There's a saying that says, if I'm getting paid, I mustn't tell the others how much I'm getting paid.
My goodness.
And if you're not talking about it, it means you are the least paid.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want us to know that all of us are not getting paid well.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to talk. The word allowed, when it's my contract and you, when it's me working on that production, if I want to talk about anything, I should be talking about it. It's up to me.
You can't tell me about my contract.
No,
of what I must do.
What I think needs to happen is that when artists or crew get to work, sign contracts in a production, they need to have a conversation. If something goes wrong, if you can't talk to your producer or your production manager or whatever, talk to other artists so that collectively we are able to say, guys, this is wrong. And that's
true.
it. And that's it. I think that's one of the ways that we can, fix this.
Yeah. Yeah, because when Mama talk, as I was saying to you earlier on, before we begin, like outside of the conversation, I was saying that when we had a conversation with National Film Video Foundation, they never seem to be interested to be part of this. Because National Film Video Foundation is a stakeholder of DTI. You understand? So as their money comes from DTI and then they fund us. Yeah. They fund us. So what is happening now? If National Film Video Foundation can be more involved, because they give people money, they give people money, how can you say our hands are tied? The only thing that we do, that's not our mandate, to change policies or governance in the like you can play a big part because DTI and we're working together. Come up with some policies, as I was saying to you.
I think they should give out the money with conditions.
Conditions, exactly.
They must condition that money.
You know
that
what I mean?
way, these people can't do what they're doing to us.
For them saying that their hands are tied, and then we're supposed to have the second meeting. I don't remember. And then they went blank quiet.
Because they're running away from the truth.
They went blank quiet.
They're running away from doing the right thing.
They went blank quiet. And now, I was so disappointed at them. These people are useless. At the same time, even their funding processes are are so hard, man.
That it's
Very
difficult
difficult.
to get
Not
there.
everyone can get funding from national. Not just someone who comes out of school who wants to shoot a film can just get a funding from national film fund. Not just someone, for instance, myself. I'm a commercial director and music video director. I was told that when they sent me the letter, they said that he's an experienced. The letter said Andile is an experienced commercial and television. Commercial and music video director, but he's not experienced on features.
What does that even mean?
Because of that, they didn't approve.
What
They
does
didn't approve.
that
They didn't approve
even mean?
my application. But they could see that I am
Yes.
you know what I mean?
You are qualified.
I'm qualified and I've worked on features, obviously, not as a director on features or as an AD or whatever, but I've worked but that you know they should come up with some policies that are open for everyone
So that
to be
everyone
able to
can
get
tap
funding.
in.
You know what I mean?
Everyone can tap in.
It's almost like these people, Mam Thoko, they already know who they want to give this funding to.
Exactly.
It's almost like they already know.
Yeah.
It's like when they give out these application, like they're opening up these funding calls.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're just doing it for the sake
For
of,
the sake of.
you know what I mean? But deep down they know
They
who is
know
this
who
money
they are
going
going
to.
to.
You know?
It feels like that.
So
It feels like that.
it's really sad, Mamu Thoko. So
It feels
what
like
I mean,
that.
what can you say, like as Mamu Thoko, like you've been like in the industry like for a year, like I have so much respect for you.
Thank you.
Like so much, as I was like I'm comparing you, saying that if you were in Hollywood, you'd be more
Yeah.
like Denzel Washington. It's a pity that our South
Yeah.
African stakeholders, other
Don't-
South
don't
African
see
film
that.
and television stakeholders
They don't
have no
see
respect
Yeah.
on people like you.
Yeah.
You know, so like, what would you like to see going forward in terms of like your generation? Like, what's your wish when it comes to your generation? Because sorry, ma'am, for cutting you, because you see, most of your generation, they die very poor. You would hear some of them when they die that the government has to be involved, people has to, you know, it's very sad. Because
one of the ministers once said when there was a knock on their door to assist in burying an artist,
yes,
the answer was that the government is not a funeral police.
oh my goodness.
The government is not a funeral policy.
You know, if these people would understand in the Mamu Togo that how much money the television and film industry is making for this country.
I know. I know.
Most of the economy of this country depends on
Depends
us.
on us.
On the television and film.
Were we not, as theatre people all over the world, telling the world about the plight of South Africans in South Africa, the plight of Black South Africans in South Africa? Those are the shows that we took out of the country to make the whole world aware of how we were mistreated as artists.
Yeah. So just before we close, Mane, I just want to quickly ask you, since you are mentioning theater, so how is that going for you? Like, since like you said that you are busy with a project in Eastern Cape.
Yeah. I'm at a point where I don't want to perform. I want to direct.
Oh.
I don't want to perform anymore. Unless there's a project that really needs someone my age and they want me to play that part. But I am not into performance anymore.
Yeah.
I want to teach. I'm
Yeah.
a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher at heart, teacher physically, teacher, So I want to teach. I want to share my skills. I share skills.
Yes.
Yes.
No, that's great. No, I'm glad,
Thank
ma.
you. Thank you
Thoko,
for
thank you so
having
much
me.
for coming through.
Yeah.
We truly appreciate it. Obviously, there's so much noise here.
No, it's fine.
Because it's busy,
At least
you know.
as
So
long
thank you
as-
so much
yeah.
for coming to Thoko. Truly appreciate your presence.
Thank
I'm
you.
really out of all the interviews that I've done. I'm so
Okay.
honored to do this interview with you.
Thank you so much.
I was really when Caroline sent me your said that you will be coming through, and she sent me she sent me your numbers. I was like, talk to her. I was like, this is really happening. Mom Thoko is coming to the podcast. You know,
Thank you so
I was like, this is
much.
really happening. Mom Thoko is coming to the podcast. And then when I started talking to you. I'm like, this is Mamu Thoko. She's really coming because your generation, ma. I would rather have you come to the podcast than have. I don't
Yes.
care who's who's trading on our generation
Yeah,
in the film
yeah.
industry. You, to
Thank
me,
you.
I'm honored to have you more than anyone else in the country.
Thank you
You know,
so
like your
much.
generation, it's just a pity that it's just a pity that who that Joe Mafela passed away.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I also spoke with
Yeah.
Utembi Charlie. I
Okay.
want to invite her to
Yes.
come and speak,
Yes.
but I haven't heard back from
Okay.
her. Send her a
Okay.
message, a WhatsApp. You
Yeah.
know, I know she's busy. I think I'm not sure if she's in Cape Town or Joburg. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
You know, like
Okay.
your generation, those are the people that I want to bring into this, you know,
Yeah.
your generation
Yeah.
now. You
Yeah.
know, so thank you so much, Mam
Thank
Toko. So are there
you.
any last words that you would like to say? Maybe, you know, it might be the industry, or it might be to the government, or it might be to, you know, to those who are sleeping on us as you actors and crew members, you know, not taking us more seriously, you know. Are there any words that
Yeah.
you
No, I'd like to say we need to fight.
yeah.
Let us fight. I think this whole thing is in our hands. The people who don't want to sign the bill or don't want to get involved in whatever. If we as artists can go slow on a set, who will finish that movie? Fight. I think my word is fight. And thank you for having me.
So you're saying the best thing to do, Mama, is to fight.
Yeah,
Just encouraging everyone, you know, to stand together in the industry
we need to fight.
instead of standing. You know what's so sad when Mamu Togo? We are fighting this fight for some of our fellow actors and crew members, and some of these people we are fighting this fight for are gangsters.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they are
I
gangsters.
think I think it's being misinformed.
Yeah,
I think when people understand, they fight a different fight.
yeah.
So I think misinformed because they don't have the correct information.
Thank you so much, Mamu Togo. Truly
Thank you.
appreciate it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us for
Thank
another
you.
episode. Really, this I'm really honored to have Mamu Togo today on our podcast, and really the conversation that we had this morning with Mamu Togo was one of, you know, the best conversations that I've heard. You know, especially coming from the generation of Umamu Togo. You know, sharing the same sentiments, sharing the same values. You know. The challenges that we are having in our industry. So, I hope you guys will learn from this, and will definitely stand together more and be able to fight together more. You know, I believe that if we can stand together instead of standing against one another in this industry, I believe that our industry would be a better place. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this episode. See you on the next one. Cheers.